Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mike's Custom Woodworking here, and I'm going to make a video right now on staining. I have some plaques that I made up right here. There's two of them. They're actually the background pieces. I routed the edges nice on them, smooth. They are just pine boards, and I scrolled out some animals to go on them. Actually, this one goes on this one. That goes there. And the turtle goes here. So that's what they're gonna look like all when they're done. And everything like that. So I'm gonna do a quick little tutorial on staining, because stain can make or break your projects, believe it or not, guys. You know, it's very, very important to take your time. I always used to rush through staining, and I was just a big fan on using sponges. Horrible idea, people. Don't do it, okay? Do not use sponges. I will use a sponge brush when I am applying polyurethane, but other than that, stain from here on out, always with a rag. So on this first one, I'm going to go with Minwax Red Mahogany. Okay, so let's get that going. So I get these staining cloths from Home Depot. It's about double this size. I cut them so you can save it. I'm actually going to have to cut another one here for this other one that I'm doing. So use this other one. So I'll show you. This is the size of it regularly right here. It's pretty big. I cut it in half and used that to stain. So the first thing you want to do, I took this board and I sanded it. First I sanded it with 150 grit. I did it by hand all around the edge and with my palm sander everywhere else. And then after that I took 220 to it and sanded it with 220, and this thing is just so smooth. After that I took my air compressor down there and I blew it off to get all the dust off. You're not going to get all the dust off. Don't fret. There's a simple solution. Go and get you some of these. HDX makes a great tack cloth. This is a great product. Again, these are really big squares. You cut them down into little squares and you rub, and the dust will come right off your project, and it even gives it a little luster, a little bit of shine. I love it. Alright, so HDX tack cloths, must have. I have a whole drawer down here all dedicated to paint, sand, paint and stain and stuff like that. I even I contacted Minwax and told them I love their products, and they sent me this like color chart of all their stains. So I have an example on wood of every single one of their stains. So they're a great company. Alright, so let's get this going here. I guess on the Mountain Lion, I'm going to go with the Red Mahogany. So you want to, I got the stain all stirred. I made sure it was good. You never want to shake your stain. Bubbles will form in it. It's no bueno. Alright, so I take the cloth and I fold it in half, kind of like this, and get like a 3-finger type deal. Okay? And you're going to want to dip it in the stain. And then I always do my edges first. Since this has routed edges, I always do those first, because they're going to be the hardest to take. You know, this is really dark. This is a brand new stain too. I just opened this one. So we'll see how it works out. Yeah, so I always do my edges first. Especially when you have routed edges like this, I don't know why. It's just something that I always did. And now you want to go in a motion that follows the grain of the wood. Okay, when you're doing this, and make sure you get into every crack. Nice long strokes when you're doing this. You don't want to have stains sitting in too many places, because you know it could make it darker in that spot, and then that's more work you're gonna have to do when it dries, and you don't want to do that. Okay, no bueno, no bueno, people. Okay, so we're gonna do this side. There's always on the rough edge part of it, the stain always sets a little bit differently on this pine that I'm using. Not really much you can do about it. You just got to deal with it. You know, like the military says, don't give up. You got to deal with it. Alright, so I am just going back and forth very lightly. You know, I'm not pushing down crazy hard. I don't want to leave streaks in it. You know, you just want it. You want to evenly distribute it. And a lot of times when you use your a lot of times when you use the what am I trying to say, Michael? Your sponge brushes, you'll leave streaks, and I hate it, you know. And then sometimes it'll push up on it. It's just, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of those sponge brushes at all, people. It's just not me anymore. And you always want to make sure the back looks as good as the front. Even though it's the back of a project, doesn't matter. You know, take love to your whole project. Front, back, side to side. You know, even though it'll be against a wall or might not be visible, it does not matter, guys. Take evenly on all of it. So I like to cut little squares out of wood, and I take them and I sit the project on those squares. This actually came out very beautiful, this red mahogany. I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. I'm about to show it to you guys here in a second. I just don't want to get stain on my hand. Alright, so here we go. We're just gonna tap that a little bit, putting the stain on it. It's coming very beautiful, guys. This is hard to do with one hand. Gotta put you down again. But let me put this one last little bit on here, and then I'll hold the camera. No, I don't have a freaking... Now, I always like to put it on kind of heavy in case I have to... Well, I am going to hit it with the sander again. And I'll do that video too, don't worry. Why? Because you're going to have to sand it one more time. So don't think you're done sanding, because you are not. I always, after you add the polyurethane and that dries, I sand it with a 400 grit. And then after that, I hit it with my tack HDX cloth, and I repoly it again. And it's like ice. So that was kind of this is my first instructional video, so I'll get good on the angles and everything like that. So I apologize now for it. I'm not going to do both of these right now. Okay, I'm only going to do one because I don't know the other color. I have Minwax Jacobine out for my other color, but I don't know if I'm going to go with that yet. So that is the finished product, red mahogany right there. The grain in that came out so beautiful. As you can see, it's even all around. There's no blotchy spots in it. And, you know, that's how you want it to look. Okay, right there. Now, I'll let that dry overnight. Tomorrow, I will apply a coat of polyurethane. I will let that dry. And then I will hit it with 400 grit sandpaper. Hit another coat of polyurethane. And that is a background ready to have a mountain lion put on it. So, thank you. If anybody has any questions or comments, please leave them. And feel free to ask anything. I'm changing my mind on this other background. I think I might go light with it instead of dark, and then I'll go dark with the turtle. So that's why I didn't do that one right now, because I'm changing my mind. I don't know what color I want to do it yet. I'm thinking cherry possibly, and then go with a honey for the turtle, which is a darker color. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was hard to watch because I had the camera up high, but like I said, you want to use a cloth for staining and apply it evenly on the wood, and you go in the direction of the grain. Okay, and then I'm gonna let that sit now until tomorrow after I get done work. Come home, start working on it again. You want the stain to set into the wood. You want it to dry and cure properly. Another problem I was having also was the temperature in my wood shop. I was staining stuff and polyurethaning stuff, and I was coming back to it, and it just had this sticky, you know, weird dry to it, and it wasn't drying evenly. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Well, I have a special thermometer and clock in my shop that shows the humidity and everything, and the humidity was all jacked up in my shop. So that was actually affecting the stain and the way it's set on the different types of wood that I have. You have to take all this into effect, guys, if you know you want to be a good woodworker. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I learn something new every day, and that's what I try and do. It should be all of your guys' goal and girls' goal to learn something new every single day, okay? No matter what it is. Doesn't have to be woodworking, just anything in general. Maybe it could be about parenting, who knows? I have a 9-year-old son myself. He likes coming in the wood shop. I also have a 8-year-old nephew. He loves coming in the wood shop, you know, and I'm trying to get them started young on this because this is a dying profession, okay? My grandfather taught me how to do this when I was like 7 years old. I would go to his house over the summertime, and Pop-Up would draw something up on wood and have me cut it out right there on the scroll saw. I'll be doing a lot of videos on scrolling. I just ordered a new book, and there's a project in there that I am dying to make. I'm going to leave it a surprise right now. I'll give you a hint. It's a wooden padlock with a key. That's part of it right there. Okay, so but once that book comes in on Saturday, we're gonna have some fun with that. And you know, this channel I made basically is just to have some fun woodworking and teach people some new things if I can, share some of my knowledge, and maybe even learn some things from people. If you see that you think I'm doing something wrong, I'm humble. I'm a man. I'm gonna make mistakes. Leave it in the comments. Hey Mike, I see all that you did at A, B, and C. Well, if you try it doing it D, E, and F, it might work a little better. And I'm going to try it, you know, because I'm all about learning new things, especially in this profession. And so, well, again, people, thank you for watching. Basically, what we just did here is we stained a board, piece of pine, stained it red mahogany, went over the proper techniques. Preparing it, you got to have your HDX tack cloth. You got to have an air compressor. If you don't have one, I suggest getting one. It makes life a lot easier blowing the dust off when you sand it. 150 grit sandpaper, 220 grit sandpaper, and when you polyurethane, you're going to want to get some 400 grit sandpaper as well. You can get away with the 220, but 400 just makes it even smoother. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Mike's Custom Woodworking. I hope you enjoyed this. Keep watching. Like, comment, share, and make sure you like my videos and subscribe to my channel so you can get up to date on new woodworking techniques and videos in the future. Thank you very much. If you're in the Philadelphia area, you can contact me. My Facebook page is Mike's Custom Woodworking. The woodworking is hyphenated. And my Facebook is at Woodmaster13. So if you would like to order something, check out my work, please feel free to do so. Thank you again for watching. Have a great night, everybody. See you later.